To speak. Hablar. Hablar.
A lot of people are unaware of a time in Clark Kent's life when he was young and still discovering the extent of his powers. During this period in Smallville, his superhero identity was known as the Blur, due to his ability to move at lightning speed and appear as a blur. Here is a brief summary of that time. In the bustling city of Metropolis, a hero emerged when he saves a woman's life from being struck by a car. The grateful woman says, "Thank you so much for saving my life." The Blur responded with, "No pro blah blah blem ma'am, it's all in a daily work." The Blur cleared his throat and said, "I'm sorry, you're welcome ma'am." Due to his fear of public speaking, the Blur finds his confidence diminishing over time. However, one day, he discovers a hidden message in his escape pod, the same pod that transported him from Krypton to Earth, which reveals the key to his true power. He hones his communication skills and masters the art of persuasion. During a mundane assembly, Clark is the final speaker. Towards the end of his speech, he declared, "Have no fear, my young friends. Together, we shall triumph." He captivated the crowd, filling the room with energy and saving the day as cheers erupted. On that day, Clark learned that anyone can be a hero and save the day if they are willing to speak from the heart, even if they feel a little afraid. From that moment forward, he becomes Superman, a hero whose words ignited a flame of hope. Now, let's create a mental connection. To remember the meaning of hablar in Spanish, let's recall what Superman was called in his younger years, the Blur, right? Notice how it sounds similar to hablar. Next, let's remember how the Blur faced severe stage fright, which made it challenging for him to speak in intense situations. Perhaps some of you can relate to this experience. So anyway, that's it. This mental hook is all you'll need when you're trying to remember what hablar means in Spanish. It means to speak.
My son, to speak really good, just like talk really clear, like totally clear and stuff. So, like if you're about to say something unclear, don't say that and then say something better. Boyfriend. Novio. Novio.
Once upon a time, in a magical forest, there lived a lovely skunk named Sophie. Sophie had a special talent. She could make a sweet-smelling perfume that could magically remove any bad odor. People from all around the forest would come to her for help whenever they had a stinky problem. Now let me introduce you to Sophie's boyfriend, Max. Max was the sweetest and kindest skunk you could ever imagine. But he had one little issue. As skunks do, every time someone startled him, he'd have a little bit of an unpleasant fragrance situation. It made Max feel sad because he wanted to have an inviting aroma like Sophie. One day, Sophie came up with a brilliant idea. She decided to create a special potion using her magical perfume that would make sure Max never had any body odor again. She mixed her perfume with a pinch of stardust, a dash of moonlight, and a sprinkle of love. The potion was so powerful that whenever Max applied it, his body odor disappeared completely, just like magic. From that day forward, Max became known as No B.O. Max, and everyone in the forest admired him for always smelling fantastic. So when you want to remember boyfriend, in Spanish, just think of Sophie and Max's magical love story. Max became No B.O. Max, and No B.O. sounds just like novio, which is boyfriend in Spanish.
Movie theater. Cine. Cine.
Here we have the Cena family all excited to watch The Seahorse That Could at the movie theater. But uh-oh, the dad, Mr. Cena, isn't too thrilled about seeing another kids' movie. Can you believe it? But guess what happens as the movie unfolds? Something out of the blue. Tears start welling up in the dad's eyes. He tries to hide it, but we all know he's deeply touched by the enchanting story. And in the final scene, where the seahorse unleashed a powerful horse-like neigh, defeating the enemy, we catch a glimpse of the dad wiping the tears from his eyes. Noticing his family looking at him, he said, "There must be some popcorn dust in the air, irritating my eyes." But we know the truth. He loved the movie. Now, let's make that memory connection. To remember what cines means in Spanish, just think of the seahorse that could. That could what? The seahorse that could neigh. Remembering the seahorse's powerful neigh and the dad's emotional reaction in the movie theater. And this is how you'll never forget that cine is how we say movie theater in Spanish.
No pro blah blah blem ma'am.
Hablar. Novio. Cine.